Hi, Eduardo. How are you doing today?
Hi, how are you? Very nice to be here with you. I'm
Yes,
doing very well on this side
yeah,
of the world.
indeed. Thank you for your time to just share some insights about your story. Maybe you can give us a brief introduction about Los Andes Copper.
Sure. Los Andes Copper is a Canadian listed company, and we own the Vizcachitas Project, which is a very large copper molybdenum advanced development deposit in central Chile. And yes, we are very excited about advancing this project into the let's say pre-construction phases right now.
Sure, maybe we can start off by just talking about macro. So talk about copper, because a lot of people thinking there will be a supply deficit in the years to come because of the electrification. What's your thoughts? What's your take on the copper market in the mid long term?
I mean, the way we see this is that effectively, regardless of what the let's call it near-term volatility might be taking place in copper, we are facing a structural deficit in copper over the next 7 to 8 years and later on, which is really driven by, as you mentioned, electrification. There is no way you can achieve the goals of electrification or even near those goals without a substantial increase in the supply of copper, and there isn't enough copper out there. So there's a handful of large projects, greenfield projects that can make a difference, and we're very proud to have Vizcachitas being one of those selected few. Obviously, there's brownfield projects, extensions. There's increased recycling. There's a lot of small projects that come into play, but bigger projects that can make any difference or any impact on this deficit, it's very few.
Sure. Maybe you can elaborate more. You said mentioned about you're bullish on the copper market, and so how does Los Andes position itself to be among one of the top copper companies for investors to consider?
Well, I mean, we are an advanced stage development project in one of the prime mining jurisdictions in the world. We're located in Chile, and we're located in central Chile, an area with plenty of infrastructure already available. That's a result of the existing mining activity. We are actually surrounded by four of the world's largest operating copper mines, and that actually is a fantastic source of synergies when it comes to railroads, access to power, access to skilled labor force. So yes, we're in a privileged position, and this project is going to be generating or producing over 180,000 tons of copper per year, which in a world of a deficit of 5 million is obviously a small contribution, but it is one of the larger ones that can come in the let's say medium term into production.
Great. You mentioned a bit about the infrastructure advantages and of your flagship project there. So what would be, I'm just curious about, seems like we're progressing on the right path. What would be the risks at all for this project moving forward compared to other projects, copper projects in the market?
Well, in terms of infrastructure, several things. I mean, being in the neighborhood of several huge mining projects brings a lot of infrastructure in place. For example, and another element that also contributes is that because we are a greenfield project, we can design it from scratch, adopting the new sustainable mining practices going forward. I mean, I think if we're going to be contributing to electrification, we need to be, as well as a project, part of the adoption of the new way of doing mining and way of doing business in the future. For example, we are switching to desalinated water. Even though we have continental water rights, we've made the decision to go to desalinated water. We see that mining, and particularly mining in Chile, has to go into this solution because water is a very scarce element in the country, and we this is a way we can contribute. Another thing we're doing is we're going to be filtering our tailings, and that means that our water consumption is going to be reduced by 50% compared to the previous alternatives we were considering of thickened tailings. We're also switching to HPGRs on the milling circuit, and that's going to essentially help us also reduce power. So we expect to reduce power by 25% from the previous designed solution. And again, those are all elements that we believe create not only a technical and competitive advantage, but are the environmental and sustainable way of doing mining going forward.
Let's touch upon some of the recent development. You recently have an agreement with ERM. Do you want to elaborate to share some of the details with us?
Sure, absolutely. I mean, obviously, ERM is a globally recognized environmental consultant, and part of this is part of our plan going forward is to design the strategy for the preparation of an environmental impact study for the construction operation of the mine, and having them working with us is a way of guiding the process so that we stay on track in terms of timing, and also that we take a comprehensive approach to the environmental approval package, which is not only the technical side, but it's obviously all the community and social side of an environmental approval package, which is as important as the technical elements as well.
So in summary, we all know from the investor's point of view, building copper mine like yours can require a lot of huge resources, human capital, and of course, will capital too. Are you looking to be able to sell this to the major? Is it a take-out target, let's say, for a major to look into your company?
Well, Vizcachitas is a deposit, it's a project that definitely stands out in the copper community. We're right now advancing the project, but we can never predict what's going to happen in the future.
Of course, definitely. Yeah, so thank you for your time here with us, for your sharing the story with us about the Los Andes Copper.
Thank you very much, and thank you for the opportunity to present our story.
Yeah, I shall tell you to next time, Eduardo. Have a good day. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks. Bye-bye.